boy Nate here, and you are back watching the Legacy Sports channel. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Hope you had a great weekend and are enjoying this amazing stretch of playoff basketball we've been able to watch. We've got the Pacers making it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They took down the Cavs. Man, it really sucks to be a Cavs fan right now. Very disappointing performance on their part, but you can't give them too much blame, especially Donovan Mitchell. He's been getting a lot of heat in the media, especially by one Kendrick Perkins, who blames him for getting the old Cavs coach JB Pickerstaff fired. But to be honest, I think a lot of the blame that he's getting from certain media personalities is undeserved. I mean, at Utah, Donovan Mitchell didn't really have much help to get to the Western Conference Finals or even the NBA Finals. And so I think one thing a lot of folks forget about is that it takes more than just one superstar to win a championship. It takes a team. Same case in Cleveland. They fell short against the Pacers, but it was to be expected, really, especially since Darius Garland and Evan Mobley went down with injuries. You can't put everything on one player's shoulders. And so I think primarily one thing that the Cavs are going to have to address going down in the future is the longevity of their stars and whether or not their stars can stay healthy, especially during crucial stretches in the playoffs. It's not that they had a shortage of talent or anything, and I think right now hopefully they're able to stay healthy next season. Donovan Mitchell, I think personally, he doesn't really need to improve much. I mean, he really just needs help. And also, if you look here, himself, Darius Garland, and Mobley were all all-stars this season. And they were literally the only team in the league to have multiple representatives at All-Star Weekend. And Mobley was Defensive Player of the Year. And so they don't have a personnel problem, really. It was just injuries. Injuries can do that to a team. Injuries did that to that legendary Magic team back in the 90s with Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal. Injuries did that to Trace McGrady and Yao Ming with the Rockets. There's so many teams throughout the history of the NBA that on paper and based off their performance on the court, they would have given a lot of championship teams that we know and love from the past problems if they were able to stay healthy. So I think this is another case of that. Personally, myself, I'm a Pacers fan. I love the Indiana Pacers, but if you look at the two teams on paper, the Cavs were way more stacked than the Pacers, had more depth in my honest opinion, but timing and injuries can make the difference between whether or not a team makes it to the next round. So it'll be interesting to see what the Cavs do. But one thing that crossed my mind, idea that I had in the offseason, was whether or not maybe the Cavs could land LeBron James. Now, yes, I know LeBron's old. He's approaching retirement, and he's not the same that he used to be. Same LeBron that he used to be. But I do think that he could be a good enough addition to get them over the hump. And the Eastern Conference isn't as stacked as the West is. If you look at all the top 8 teams in the West that made it to the playoffs, a lot of these guys, especially from like the 2 seed to like 6 seed, a lot of these guys were separated by like a handful of games. So there isn't nearly that level of competition in the Eastern Conference. And so like if they could keep that core group together and then maybe also add LeBron, if LeBron is willing to take a pay cut, I don't see why the Cavs can't make it back to the finals. Whether or not that's something Donovan Mitchell would want, I don't know. Maybe he wants to like cement his legacy in Cleveland alone and not have it be attached to LeBron. But as a Cavs fan, that's something that, you know, I would think most Cavs fans would be excited for the possibility of. Is it likely? Probably not. But LeBron does have the option to reject his player option and become a free agent next year. So we'll see what happens, but it would be poetic for him to finish his career in Cleveland and maybe winning a championship. So who knows? In other news, we do have the Knicks defeating the Celtics, and yet again, another case of injuries. I'm very happy for the Knicks as a Northeasterner, and I'm excited to see what they do, but it is disheartening to see Jason Tatum go down. I was really looking forward to see what he would do in the postseason, and it's just really sad to see. I know Achilles tear injuries are no joke. There have been some notable players like KD and Kobe Bryant who were never really quite the same after that injury occurred. So it is a bit worrisome. Hopefully Jason Tatum is able to recover. I know it's going to be at least a year probably before he's back on the court. But he does have one thing going for him. He is young, so I'm sure that'll play a factor in his recovery. But given that he's injured and will likely be out for at least, who knows, possibly a season and a half, the Celtics are likely going to be moving around their core. They haven't quite gotten the production they needed from Kristaps Porzingis, so I anticipate he'll probably be out of Boston next year. Who else do they have? Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is a great player, but he hasn't been really been making a huge difference. The only players that I think will still be at Boston next season is probably like Jaylen Brown and Peyton Pritchard. Outside of those two guys, I think everyone else is on the chopping block. Sad to see, but yeah, the Celtics, I don't know. Like, for as talented as this team is and the amount of personnel that they've had, their level of, I guess you could say, like, inconsistency is interesting to see. Like, I was happy that they won the championship last year, but honestly, I think they should have won a championship with that core group a lot earlier. Like, that series between them and the Warriors in 2022 was theirs to win. Yes, the Warriors are the Warriors, but the Celtics lost to the worst Warriors team, to be honest. And Steph Curry basically willed them to a championship. And it makes me wonder if Jason Tatum can really be their number one guy. Because even in the series that they won last year against the Mavericks, when they won the championship, he wasn't even finals MVP. It was Jaylen Brown. So, like, and Jaylen Brown, as great of a player as he is, it's it's hard to say whether he can be the number one guy on a team, and how sustainable that can be. So, like, I don't know. They've got some soul searching to do. I really wish Jason Tatum the best. Hope he recovers and comes back better. And I think he will, given the fact that he's still young. So we'll see what happens with the Celtics. In other news, though, the Eastern Conference Finals are going to be starting next Wednesday between the Pacers and the Knicks. Man, it makes me feel like I'm reliving my childhood all over again. I'm very happy to see the Pacers back. Tyrese Halliburton, this man is special. I think this will be a phenomenal series. Who do I choose to win? I think the Knicks are probably going to win this series in 7 games. I think this series will go down to the wire, especially given the history between these teams. Like Reggie Miller, the battles that Reggie Miller had between the Knicks in the 90s. And then also, too, like, you know, in recent history between that Pacers team that was led by Paul George and Danny Granger back in the 2010s, back when they battled with, like, Carmelo Anthony, Tyson Chandler. Man, those were very fun games to watch. And I know there's like a lot of animosity between these two teams. Myself being a Pacer fan, I hope the Pacers make it back to the finals personally. Do I think they will? My gut is telling me they won't, given the fact that I think the Knicks have much better personnel on paper overall. But that doesn't mean surprises can't happen. I mean, we've seen what the Pacers have done against the Cavs and that crazy game winner Tyrese Halliburton has. And also, too, I really think that all the pressure is on the Knicks right now. Like, the Knicks have much greater... The expectations on the Knicks are much greater right now. And I think the Pacers are really just playing with house money at this point. And also remember, too, the Pacers were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year against the Celtics. And so the Pacers have playoff experience. They have composure. Like, these guys are not scared. And they're a young group, too, which is crazy. So, like, I'm excited to see how this series goes, to see Tyrese Halliburton battle it out with Jalen Brunson. I know this is probably going to be the best series out of this whole playoffs. Like, I am so excited. Can't wait to see what happens. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got as far as news for you guys today. I know the Nuggets are playing the OKC Thunder Sunday, so that'll be a great game 7. Who do I have winning that game? Oof. A game 7 in OKC. Man, I know that game's going to be close. But my gut is telling me that the Thunder will pull away with the victory. But given the fact that, like, the Nuggets don't really have much depth outside of their starting 5, and Russell Westbrook, he can be a little wishy-washy. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I know it'll be a great game. It's going to be very close, gridlock. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thanks for tuning into this video. Be sure to like and comment on what you think will transpire in these coming weeks. This is Nate, and you've been watching the Legacy Sports channel. I'll see you all in the next one.